Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, a show bringing you classroom tips, motivation, and stories from successful educators. Join Tavis Beam and Danny Hogger as they explore the why of teaching.
Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, everyone. Danny Hogger back again. Tavis Beam on assignment, preparing some things in his classroom. And so I'm very excited to be with Caswell today, recording from Gold Coast, Australia in Queensland. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, so great, and so glad that you could join us. I've been reading your blog and enjoying all the new sources of inspiration that you've been giving people. And about a week ago, you published a blog called Do You Feel the Need to Reclaim Your Calling? And that's kind of what connected me to want to reach out to you, is that in this show, we want to inspire teachers and tell the stories of why we teach and how we want to inspire the next generation of students. So for you, Karen, before we get into that blog, kind of how did you come into education and what's your backstory?
Okay, so I've always wanted to be a teacher. There's not really anything else that I ever wanted to do. I guess once that thought popped into my head, I probably didn't really consider anything else either. So I went through school. That's what I was doing, got into university, graduated and started working. I did an early childhood degree, so birth to 8 years. I started working in a childcare centre as a director, which was like the before school for kids where they go before they go to school for parents who work. Then started working in the education department. So I've spent 22 years as a teacher. It's horrible when you say it like that. You start to realise how old you're getting. But most of that has been teaching early childhood. So preschool prep, grade 1 or first grade. So that's where most of my experiences come. But then I've also worked as a special education teacher, a learning support teacher, done some short stints as an instructional coach. And most recently, I was teaching grade 3 and now grade 4.
Has your motivation for teaching changed with the acceptance and moving on from different positions? And is the reason still the same that you go to school in the morning?
No, I don't think so. I think I'm a lot more intentional now about my purpose, a lot more intentional about my why, what I'm doing. And I don't know if that's come through experience and just, having done the range of things that I've done as a teacher as well. But I think a lot of it comes from the changes that I've seen happen in education over those 22 years. Things are very different now to when I first started teaching, so I've had to evolve with that.
I would imagine that technology has changed a lot of what teaching is and has been. I can't imagine a day in my classroom teaching high school without a constant internet connection and a board that connects me to ideas and images and videos and slides and activities. So I wonder too, the fact that we're having this conversation right now is because we have a direct internet connection that facilitates the conversation. Do you find inspiration from all those advances? Are there challenges that come with that? What is your scope on how technology has changed the way that you teach?
Well, I work in a one-to-one iPad school, so obviously there's had to be a lot of changes happen with that and how to use the iPads for teaching. I think having taught without the technology, obviously you have a lot of that background around pedagogy, the teaching strategies, and all of those things that then the technology is used to support that. It's not used instead of those things. So it's making sure that, I guess, the technology is used in a way that gets the best or the most out of the kids rather than the most out of the technology, if that makes sense.
It really does. And you seem to take a lot of what you see, a lot of what you read and research and talking to passionate educators. And that seems to be a keyword with your blog and what you write about, and that passion is so important in what you do. So tell me kind of where your passion comes from and what that looks and feels like for you in your classroom.
Okay, so I think it's been reinvigorated, I guess, in the last 12 months to 2 years. Prior to that, I don't know, I thought I was becoming burnt out. I don't know if it was burnout or if it was more disillusionment with where I felt education was heading. what teaching had become compared to what I knew it could be in terms of, I guess, standardized testing and data and all of those extra expectations that have been put on teachers over the years. So I think, yeah, there was a bit of that burnout. Was I burnt out? Was I disillusioned? What was going on there? I took a break. I took a term, which is 10 weeks here, long service leave, and did a bit of reflecting in that time. I thought maybe I just didn't want to be a teacher anymore. Maybe it just wasn't for me. But I realised that, no, that is truly what my calling is. But it was how to find the joy in that again. What could I do to enjoy it so that then obviously I was giving the best to my students?
That's really great. I'm glad you came to that conclusion. What were some of the things that bring you joy and some of the things that you decided to recommit to?
I think it was really just narrowing it right back down to the kids.
Nice.
Forgetting about all the external stuff. What do my students need? I got connected on social media, obviously Twitter, being connected with other passionate educators, being inspired. What I could see that there were other people, I guess, fighting the good fight, other people, doing what I felt needed to be done. And that whatever you do for the kids. If it's right for the kids, it's right, which is a Kayla Delza quote. But that sort of really resonated with me.
That's really neat. I like that quote, and I like a lot of the spirit that you bring to your blog. I wonder if maybe you feel that there's plenty of negativity in the world and it can get you bogged down, whether it's in your job or your career or your environment or what you read. And what I've found in the last couple of months doing this show, Inspiring Teachers, is the more you unravel on Twitter or Instagram or blogs, the more you find how many really stellar, spectacular educators there are who are working to push the bar back up in a really positive way. And like you said, bring it back to students. That makes me feel really inspired in a genuine way, where it's like every day now I'll uncover someone new and be like, wow, that's really cool. And then we'll talk. And I think that's really great. Do you find some of that same reciprocity from the community that you work with?
Definitely. I think, there's a lot of people out there who feel the same. And if you connect with them and you feel that, you find that, yeah, you're doing what I want to do, or, I'm doing what you want to do. And, how can we help each other to make sure that's what we achieve?
That's great. What are kind of some of your favorite things about fourth grade? What do you like about that grade level?
Well, I was a bit scared, I suppose, at
Mhm.
first. Having only ever taught, younger students, it was like, these are the big kids and they're
Yeah.
starting to get a bit older. I was more worried, I guess the attitude starts to creep in as they get older. Little kids, they want to please the teacher. As they get older, it's more about peer attention and looking cool in front of their mates.
Yeah.
But I actually really enjoyed the rapport that I was able to develop with them. We could have a joke, tell stories. There was that genuine interest back and forth. They were genuinely interested in my life. I was interested in theirs. And they understand my puns. I love puns. So I guess being able to have a laugh. At the start of the year, there was a bit of explaining that we had to do. But by the end of the year, I could use a pun and they could get it. So I
Are
enjoyed that.
there some go-tos that you find yourself using frequently that they would see coming now in some instances?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's good. So you keep it out of the realm of the predictable. They're just coming at
Yeah.
any time. You've got to be ready for them.
Hmm.
Well, that's great. I've wondered how has the response been to your blog? I see a lot of comments from people who enjoy what you're doing and people that share what you tweet about. Could you tell people how to find your blog and what are some kinds of things they can read about? Maybe give out your Twitter as well if you'd like.
Sure. I guess my blog has become a bit like therapy, I suppose, for want of a better word. I've always been someone who didn't really share. I kept everything, bottled in, wouldn't let other people know. But as I've gotten older, I've realised that, that's not healthy for a start. And it helps me process. So I guess to me, it's been more about processing my thoughts, helping myself understand things. And then if that helps other people through, I guess, my vulnerability and, talking about the things that I've been through, then I'm happy for others to share that. So I guess the best way to get to the blog would be to go to my Twitter, and then it's on the link is there. So my Twitter is just at KCASW1.
Perfect. Well, we thank you for doing that. We thank you for taking time from your summer break to talk to us. What are some of the things that you like to do to enjoy your summer break? Do you set aside a certain amount of time, like before school, to recommit and dive back in and do some plans, or do you take the time for yourself and kind of do a hands-off approach? What's your strategy?
My brain never really switches off, but I do usually take the first week, 2 to 3 weeks, up until sort of New Year's. I don't do any schoolwork, like actual schoolwork. I've still been reading and doing that sort of thing. But in terms of real schoolwork, I don't tend to start that till after the New Year, which gives me a couple of weeks. And then we're back the week before the kids for professional development days and things like that. So they're pretty busy.
Yep. I know it's a cycle that continues. I've been teaching through my summer break, and I really enjoy that because it gives me a chance to teach debate and some other things that don't normally come up to me in my school year. And just kind of find, like you, that I'm always thinking and I'm always in the back of my head getting ideas and hearing things. So, well, thanks for everything that you do. I designed a little game here to end on, and I can play it with you if you like. I think you'll do quite well. Now, the game is as I designed, and I think you had a Twitter question about it, so I'll clarify here. It's Queens, Queensway, or Queensland. So I'm going to read you a series of statements, and they either apply to Queens, New York, or Queensway, which is in London in England, or Queensland. You found it? Yeah. Yeah, I had to look up a few facts to make sure that I had my information straight here. So let's see how you do here. And thanks again for joining the program. I think you'll enjoy this. So first off, the area of this location is 5 times larger than that of Japan.
Queensland?
That's right. Very good. We're 1 for 1. You're off on a running start here. Which one was named after Queen Catherine of Portugal?
Queensway?
So actually it was Queens, New York, and I didn't know that until today. Didn't know there was a Queen Catherine of Portugal. And I had to assume that the Brits wouldn't have named it after a Portuguese queen, so I kind of was trying to figure that one out myself. This one's also a challenging one. Which one has the burial place of famous magician Harry Houdini? Is it Queens, New York, Queensway in England, or is it Queensland?
Queens?
That's correct. That's good. You're 2 for 3. You're back on track. Which one's located just minutes from Notting Hill and the Portobello Road Market? Is it London, New York, or Australia?
London.
Yes, that one was easy. Slam dunk there. Which one is home to more than 4 million people? This would make it the largest of the 3.
Queens?
Queensland, actually. You're about double, about twice the size. Okay.
We don't have as big a population as the UK or USA, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, it was a good guess. It was a good toss. Couple more. Steinway and Sons, some of the finest pianos in the world are made here.
Queens?
That's correct. Yeah, I didn't know they were located in New York, so I was learning a lot today too, which was fun. Okay, let's do this one. This location has only one state parliament with one house, the Legislative Assembly.
Queensland?
That's right. See, you nailed it. You did great. You got a majority of them. I would love to come and visit sometime. I host a travel podcast during the summer, and it's such a long flight, but I got to get out there at some point. I had a student from just outside of Brisbane, and she was amazing. Her family was great, and I always have wanted to get out there. I grew up, I'm sorry if this is terribly stereotypical, but I grew up in America watching Steve Irwin a lot, and I just thought that his world seemed so magical. I loved what he did, and it may be kind of a single ambassador that all of us were exposed to heavily over here, and I know it's probably overly stereotypical, but have you ever been to the zoo? Is it great? I hear wonderful things.
Australia Zoo is a really good zoo. So it's about a 2 hours drive from here.
Okay. Do you want to throw out any California stereotypes while we're at it? You want to ding me back one? Because I used to get all the time that I surf to class and that I see celebrities at the grocery store.
We get asked, do you ride kangaroos?
So. See, I didn't go there, so I get partial credit, right? I didn't go full Aussie there. Well, Karen,
probably not. Just the dude,
Yeah, well, that's pretty true. I think I do say that. So, Karen, dude, it's been great having you on the show today, and I hope you'll come back and talk with us again if you ever have anything to announce or anything that you're promoting. And thank you for being an inspiring teacher.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, well, we'll talk to you again. For Tavis Beam, I'm Danny Hogger. Thanks for watching Inspiring Teachers. Class is dismissed.